got another camping trip coming up, and it's time to get ready for it. I love the pop-up. It's fantastic, but there's not a lot of storage inside. So my wife recently went through and redid all the cabinets, completely reorganized them. We're going to post that soon. 3 kids and toys and blankets, and we have the golden retriever, Archie Man, who travels with us. It's just a lot of stuff, and I think we probably pack more than we need, but one thing we've done is we've learned from every trip that we've taken, and certain trips that are longer require more equipment, where the trip that we're going on now is only 3 days, 2 nights, so we won't need to bring the solar panels. I'm in and out of my back of my truck quite a bit when we're camping, and the reason why I am is I have a tonneau cover, so it keeps everything dry. We used to just empty the wood out when we got to the campsite, but now after this last trip I've realized why not just keep it in the back of the truck, take it as we need it, and if we get a downpour, wood stays nice and dry. I don't have to pull out another tarp. These cases, these are Roam cases. They're 105 liters, and the reason why I chose these for our situation is because exactly that, I am in and out of the back of my truck. So if I keep these here, I can just easily reach in, pull it out to where I need to, and when these latches here in the front, it opens up so I can access everything. And so one of these cases I use for my kitchen gear, and this other case I use for everything else exterior. And I'm going to show you guys what I store in each case. Is it a little overkill? Probably, but I love it. I'm trying to make my life a little bit easier at the campsite because pop-up camping is not easy, especially when you're traveling with a family, with a dog. It's fun. I enjoy it a lot, but it's work. You know, you're trying to recreate certain things, at least I am, at the campsite, so I can make a good experience for my wife and my kids. So that's really what's important to me. I'm going to show you what's in the cases. I try to organize this thing in a way that which I'm going to use it right when I get to the campground of what items I need first, which is my hose. I need to fill up my water tank. I used to lug all the water here to the mountains, which is about 2.5 hours away, and it was a lot of water swashing back and forth. So I just opted to fill it at the campground and not have to deal with this away. First thing we need to do when we get to the campsite with the dog, we do have to set up his lead just so he has a place to kind of mosey go back and forth, do his business. Hammock, if the weather's nice, I don't set this up first. This is kind of after everything's already set up, but if we get some good weather, even if it calls for a little bit of rain, we still set this up. It dries so quick, and kids and I love it. Picked that up at Walmart. This is just a little thing of stakes. We use this to tack down our rug up front of our camper and tie some guy lines. We had to put some up tied to our awning the last trip because it was so windy. If you watched the last video, almost blew right off the camper, so we had to secure it a little bit better. Most of our camping's in the mountains, so I always bring bear spray with me. Small little splitting axe. It's good enough size where I feel like I can cut through some bigger size logs, but it's also small enough that I can kind of use it for kindling wood. It's got a good weight to it. In this bag here, I just have a bunch of different types of paracord. We're going to do a tarp kind of shelter this next time because it does call for a little bit of rain, and I want there to be kind of a bigger living space than we had the last time. And we're actually going to go with a little bit bigger tarp and a little bit different setup, so stay tuned for that. This is my little solo stove, which if you've seen my previous videos, great for the morning, instead of lighting a full-blown campfire. I do have a 30 amp power cord here. We're ever at a campground that has electricity, but most of the campgrounds we stay at are dry camping, so no electric hookups, but if we need it. I have this little Corona saw in case there's some dead firewood around. This can cut through some pretty big size logs, so pretty handy to have just in case we run out of firewood, which seldom happens, but hey, better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. This is a little shovel that I picked up from Harbor Freight. I actually used this the last trip because somebody moved the fire pit to the middle of the campsite, right where my door was of my camper, so had to move that, moved all the ashes, so this came in handy last time. Bunch of different types of rope under here. That's what's in this box. Shifting focus to this box, this is my camp kitchen. First thing we do, put on our little tablecloth on top of the picnic table that they always have at the campgrounds. This is the only pan I pretty much use to cook absolutely everything in. This hangs on the door of my camper. This has all my spices in here, onion powder, garlic powder, salt, pepper, yada yada. I keep a can of avocado spray in here, a bottle of extra virgin olive oil, and then just kind of like miscellaneous lighters, a couple of utensils. This is a Coleman propane lantern that we use at nighttime. Percolator. I have this is a really nice pop because they store inside of themselves See the Summit. I really like it. It's 2 pots. They do the same thing. Have my Jetboil 2-burner propane stove, and then I have that little portable grill, which we absolutely love. Does not take up a lot of space. As you can see, it fits in this case perfectly. Up here in these little cubbies, I have all of the regulators. In this pouch, I have a couple lighters. I have some gloves as well for cooking if I'm ever like handling raw chicken and don't have a sink right next to me. A couple flashlights, just in case you never know. Waterproof matches, in case my lighters die. A couple coffee filters, and this strap goes on this grill if I ever wanted to carry it around, but I'm not lugging it around like a purse, so really no need for that, but I don't want to lose it, so I keep it there. Next, it's got a level, so when I get to the campsite, I know my camper is level when I'm doing my little leveling block thingamajig. This wire raises my camper up, and this 18-volt drill I just bring with a 3/4 inch socket. This case right here, I have everything I need to power my fridges and my solar panels, all the cables, all the different adapters. I keep that all here in this box. This box, we got a couple 4-amp batteries for our little fans we have in there, some walkie-talkies that my wife and I use or the kids play with, but we usually use these when we go out on the paddleboard and we're separated from each other in case we need something. Usually there's no cell service where we camp. Always carry a flashlight. This headlamp here, it's very bright. We got it for a Ragnar relay race that we did in Hawaii, and we were running all through the night, so that's how we got it. But now they do a lot of camping. It's just a nice handy thing to have. These are our string lights, which we always hang up at the campsite. Creates a nice ambiance, and you know, for the kids, it actually lights up the campsite at nighttime, so it's just a lot safer. These are solar rechargeable little lamps that we usually use inside the camper, and they change colors, so we usually will, I don't know if you can tell there, we usually light it up red at nighttime, kind of like navigation lights on a boat, just so it's lit up, but it's not really keeping the kids up, so we can do about our thing at nighttime. And then something fun we did this trip is we just got this because it is calling for rain, so we might be spending a lot of time inside the camper. So this is actually a projector that we can plug right into our battery bank that we house inside the camper. Usually we use it for our fridge, which we are going to use it for the fridge, but we're also going to be using it to power this projector, so that should be fun. Propane, butane. There's this one big cargo box here, which I did in my first video. This is my setup box. I got my tools, leveling jacks. I keep this inside there, which isn't necessary, but everything I need to set up the camper stays right in this box. In this little Plano box, I just keep all the stuff I need for bugs. I got some citronelle candles. I got some bug kind of incense-y things. I got some tiki torches with some fuel in there because in the mountains there's always skeeters. The camping trip comes up in 2 days and I got to work, so I have to get this done today so that we're ready to rock and roll. Thanks for watching. These are the cases that we use when we go pop-up camping. Whether it's 2 days, 5 days, 10 days. Never done 10 days. Don't think I could ever do 10 days in a pop-up. No. Nope. Couldn't do it. Could not do it. If we had to, we could, but we're talking apocalypse stuff if that were to ever happen. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Thanks for watching. It's time to go camping.